In my spare time, I like to read some historical documents about Marxism as a way to increase my cognitive ability. During the winter vacation, I read some classic works of Marxism and listened to some courses taught by Professor Wang Defen. After reading the book Logic, Principles of Marxist Political Science. With the successful convening of the National Two sessions, first of all, I warmly congratulate Comrade Wang Huning for being elected as the chairman of the 14th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. The book The Logic of Politics is the lecture notes used by Comrade Wang Huning when he taught the outline of modern Chinese history at Fudan University. Many of his views are still very inspiring. In the book, the author cites some Western classic theories to explain the development and changes of China's political system. He believes that the development trajectory of Chinese politics is very different from that of Western politics. However, domestic scholars are quite controversial about these views. This article will combine my reading experience and thinking to explore the relationship. The logic of politics is the essence behind political phenomena. The book The Logic of Politics by Comrade Wang Huning, with the principles of Marxist political science as the main content, profoundly expounds the basic principles of human social and political activities from four basic levels: the world and mankind, the country and society, political parties and interests, and the people and power. Law and its significance to social development. The language of the whole book is simple, the content is rich, and it can explain the profound things in a simple way. The structure of this book is reasonable and clear, in line with the rules of readers' thinking. From the perspective of political science research, the author reveals the internal logic and development law of political science, which is of great significance to promote political science research. This book is also a must-have book for political science graduate students. World and human. At this level, the author mainly discusses the basic laws of human social and political activities and their significance to social development. The book points out that the world is an objective existence, and no country or nation can exist in isolation from the world. The same is true of human society. From this perspective, the world and human beings are a unified whole. In human social and political activities, the country is not only a representative of national interests, but also a defender of national interests. Therefore, from the perspective of the world and human beings, the basic laws of political activities are unified. The book also emphasizes that different political activities have different political logics. The political logic of different types of societies is also different. The author examines this issue from the historical process of human social development, highlighting the significance of human social and political activities to national development. Country and society. The form of existence of the state is established to safeguard the interests of the ruling class. In a class society, people form classes and establish countries in order to safeguard their own interests, while in the struggle for human liberation, people want to establish and form countries in order to eliminate classes and realize the full and free development of people. People formed classes and established countries because of the low level of productivity and negligible personal power. Only by forming an organized political life group can people get rid of poverty, defeat enemies, and gain a place in the economy. This is the logic of politics. Marx pointed out, historical activities are the activities of the masses. As all participants in economic activities, no matter how independently they engage in their own activities, historical activities are that they have to and are not convenient to become historical subjects together with everyone else. The process of real life. Neither the masses of the people nor their political life can exist independently of a certain economic relationship, which is the basis for the relationship between the state and society and its development and changes. Political parties and interests. Political parties are representatives of interests, and party interests are the essence of party politics. Any political party aims to realize the common interests of social groups within a certain period of time, and this common interest is determined by the relationship between social groups within a certain period of time. However, the relationship between social groups is complex and diverse, and there are differences in interests between different social groups. This difference can be divided according to different classes. Some countries achieve class differentiation through class struggle, some countries achieve social division through political movements, and some countries achieve this kind of social division through conflicts between political parties. Fundamentally speaking, the interest differences among these social groups are determined by the capitalist mode of production and the interests of people under this mode of production. As the capitalist mode of production develops to a higher and more complex level, the class structure and interest relations have also changed. Political parties, as forms of class and stratum antagonisms, are bound to change accordingly. When a class changes from a ruling class to a ruled class, it is necessary to establish a new political organization and form a new political force to realize its political demands. People and power. Power is given by the people, and it is given by the people. Any political body is based on a certain number of citizens, on which it emerges and operates. Therefore, whether it is a country's government or a country's political parties, they must fully respect the rights and wishes of the people. The concept of people is of great significance to the study of political science, and it is a basic question that we must first face and answer when discussing political issues. In the author's view, power does not exist naturally, but is produced and used by a large number of people in society under specific circumstances. There is a dialectical unity relationship between people's rights, state rights, and power. On the one hand, state power comes from the people. On the other hand, the people are the owners of state power and the real exercisers of state power. This book specifically expounds people's understanding of the relationship between power and the people in the political process from 4 levels. Political logic. In human political activities, the core of political logic is party logic. In contemporary society, political parties and interests are in a coexisting relationship. A political party is a collection of interests, and its existence and development depend on the interests of the people. The state is the stage for social and political activities and the carrier for realizing the interests of the people. The state and society are the most basic constituent units of political activities, and the interaction between the two is the core content of political logic. In contemporary China, political logic also includes the logical relationship between power operations. There are contradictions between powers at the level of value, conflicts at the level of content, and contradictions at the level of operation. The modernization of my country's national governance system and governance capacity is to build a positively interactive national political system and power operation mechanism, and eliminate possible conflicts between power and interests, power and society. To achieve this, the rule of law must be used to regulate the behavior of organizations and members at all levels of the party and the rule of law should be used to restrict the rights of citizens and the space for social autonomy. Use the rule of law to regulate the behavior of the ruling party and citizens. Thinking and Enlightenment. The book The Logic of Politics, written by Professor Wang Huning, is simple in language, rich in content, and easy to understand. While explaining the principles of Marxist political science, it also reveals the basic laws of human social and political activities and its great significance to social development. The book profoundly reveals the basic laws of human social and political activities and their significance to social development through the discussion of the 4 basic levels of human social and political activities: the world and mankind, the country and society, political parties and interests, and the people and power. It clearly puts forward the basic concept of Marxist political science and its significance to the study of political science in our country. This book is of great significance for contemporary Chinese college students to learn and understand the principles of Marxist political science. It can be used not only as a teaching material and reading material for college students to learn the principles of Marxist political science and improve their political quality, but also as a reference material for students to conduct ideological and political education and theoretical research. In conclusion, political activities are the most complex and common activities in human social life. In this activity, people use a series of means, including various forms of participation, power, interests, etc., to achieve their social goals. Therefore, politics is a series of games between people through means such as power, interests, and games. The political process is essentially the process of redistribution of political interests by various relevant subjects. In this process, while each subject realizes its own goals, it also assumes corresponding responsibilities. This makes politics an indispensable and ubiquitous activity in human social life. It is not difficult to see from this that politics is a historical process with certain historical limitations. It is not human life itself, nor is it human society itself. It is just a phenomenon produced by the development of human society to a certain stage. However, politics has promoted the progress and development of human society to a certain extent, and human society is advancing in this continuous progress. Therefore, we must correctly understand the nature of politics and the nature behind political phenomena. This is what political researchers should think about.